Welcome to the series where I test out the OSRS Wiki money making guides. I started this series almost a year ago, and since then we've tried out multiple methods even if they're a little silly, such as picking bananas or even flax. If you enjoy these types of videos, then feel free to check out the playlist that I've made for them, and feel free to leave a suggestion down in the comments for a method that you'd like to see tested. With that being said, let's get into the video. So for today's moneymaker, as you've already seen in the title, we will be collecting water. We'll be filling up these empty jugs with water, and as you can see, we bought them for 3 coins each on the Grand Exchange. Now, if you want to make a little bit more money, you can buy these jugs from different shops across Gielinor. I think there are a few shops that sell packs of these empty jugs, and you basically get each jug for like 1 to 2 coins, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. We're already getting them super cheap here on the Grand Exchange, and it's a lot faster to buy them, so yeah. But that is an option if you want to go ahead and partake in that. Now, as for where we are going to be doing this moneymaker, we're going to go ahead and head over to the West Bank here in Falador. And this is where we are going to be doing the moneymaker. As you can see, there is a water source right here, the water pump. Normally, moneymakers like this, you do tend to see a lot of bots at like Lumbridge, using the fountain there on a PvP world, or even in Varrock using the East Bank and going to the fountain. But here, surprisingly, we don't see anybody, so we'll see how it works out. So as I said with the whole bot situation, when I first saw this moneymaker on the wiki, I honestly thought that that's where we were going to be doing it. I thought we'd either go to Lumbridge PvP world, since there is a fountain next to a bank. I suppose that's even closer than this, but I guess you do run the risk of it being a PvP world, even though it is kind of safe. But I guess if you're not paying too much attention, you could click into a dangerous zone, get attacked, and then lose your full inventory of jugs of water, and nobody wants that. Both the jugs of water and being PK'd. So instead, we're just following what the wiki told us, and that is to use this method right here, this spot in Falador, and I gotta say, it's quite nice. While I was here, I got to witness some of the festivities that happen here in this great town of Falador. I got to see some people get haircuts at the local barbershop. I got to see people buy from some of the shops that are around, and I also got to see somebody go on a murderous killing spree and kill some of the guards. So yeah, it got pretty dark pretty fast. But I wasn't going to let that stop me from making a bit of money in free-to-play, especially since the price of jugs of water are so high, as according to that one comment that was left on a previous video. And if we take a look at the GE data, it is actually pretty high right now. Yeah, almost double the price that it was in June, so I guess if you're looking for a good free-to-play moneymaker, right now is the time to start collecting some water. And how fitting it was for me to make a video on collecting water when not too long ago I actually made a video on me boiling water for money, so go ahead and check that out if you want. But getting back to the moneymaker, the method is very simple. As you can see, we're just running to and from the bank and filling up our jugs at the water pump. Now, the wiki doesn't mention using energy potions, but since we had some left over from the previous video, I thought we'd just go ahead and use them. It seemed like it would be worth it since they're not that expensive, and since you don't really have to use too many of them. I think throughout this 1 hour we only ended up using 10, and at a value of only 480, that's a total cost of just 4,800 per hour on energy potions. And the extra jugs of water that we get, I think, are worth the cost of the potions. But if you really want to, you don't absolutely need them. They're not mandatory. That's a great thing about this moneymaker, is that it's very low requirements. The only thing you need is a cash stack, and even then, we only spent 15,000 coins to buy 5,000 jugs, which I think is way more than we'll need. Another great thing about this moneymaker is that it is very low effort, very few clicks involved, and you get to AFK for quite some time. Not as much as you might think. These jugs of water do fill up kind of quickly, but it's still nice. And as you may have saw right there, I did say jugs to the person who is filling water next to me. That was in fact the same person who was killing the guards here in Falador, so it was nice to see that he traded in his life of crime for an honest job. He was asking me whether I was using bowls or buckets, and he asked me which one was better, and that got me thinking, which one is better? I simply followed the wiki. I didn't even do a price check of which one was better. I just assumed that the jugs had the best margin, and luckily they did. Now, I'm sure this can change at any point in time. That is, of course, why the entry on the wiki is called filling water containers, because I'm assuming that depending on which one has the best margins, that's the one that will be on the wiki. And if not, then you can always just do a little calculation yourself to see which one makes the most money. But overall, I'd say that jugs are probably the best bet simply because you can always rely on those to be sold off fairly quickly, whereas bowls of water I don't think are used quite as much as jugs. If you weren't already aware, jugs of water are in high demand because they offer some very fast cooking XP by making jugs of wine. All that requires is 1 jug of water and 1 grapes. And that is pretty much it for this moneymaker. Very straightforward, very easy, low requirements, anybody can do it. So yeah, if you're looking for a nice free-to-play moneymaker, give it a shot. So after 1 hour of filling up these jugs with water, we are left with almost 3,500 of these jugs. If we do a price check on them, we can see that the entire stack is worth 165,504 GP. Now this is, of course, if each jug sells for 48, but I have a feeling they're not going to sell for 48. So let's go ahead and head over to the GE and sell them off. And as we can see here, the actively traded price is currently at 39 coins, which means our profit is going to take a hit, but it's not that big of a deal. Now, because these are jugs of water and they should sell fairly quickly, if you really wanted to, you could probably put it in for market price and just let it sell over time if you want to make a little bit more money. I would definitely recommend doing that, especially if you have a large amount of these jugs of water. And as we can see right here, 2,000 of them instantly sell, and it does not take much longer for the rest of them to finally sell off. So you can definitely put them in there for a little bit more money if you are looking to make some more profit. And speaking of profit, if we calculate the cost of supplies, which was 15,144 GP, and subtract that from the money that we made, which was 134,472 GP, we get a grand total profit of 119,328 GP. Not the greatest amount of money, but it is free to play and has literally no requirements, so not bad. Especially for a chill moneymaker. I just want to say thanks for checking out the video, and thank you to all of my channel members, with a special thanks to ACR Beans and Chris. Once again, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and as always, I will catch you guys in the next episode.